Yeah. This is Steve, and I'm here with Al Moll, who is the Parks Director here for Fort Wayne. And Al, yesterday the Board of Commissioners met and they approved the one-year contract with Headwaters Park for the management with the Headwaters Park Alliance. Normally that's a 3-year contract, but we're going with just 1 year for right now. So what's going on with that?
Well, I think Mayor Henry had asked the Park Board and the Park Department, along with the Alliance, to take a look at is there any way that we can take a look at reducing the overall cost contribution from the city of the Alliance. Last year and going forward would have probably been around $150,000, and with some of the cuts we've had to take in the park system, i.e. closing Sweeney Pool, was there a way that we could back down what we contribute to Headwaters Park? Headwaters has an operating reserve that they could pull from 2010. It also gave us time, will give us time to take a look at the operating model here. There could be a change, or may not be a change. Nothing's been decided at this point. It's not a reflection. Headwaters Park has always been well managed. The Alliance has done a great job, and the team over here. I mean, it's a picture. It's a positive picture for the city. But it gives us 1 year to take a look at it. And we'll work with the Alliance, take their input and the Park Board's input, along with the department, and see if there's a way that possibly we can offset the shortfall that we gave them. There's 3 or 4 different models that could be developed. I mean, obviously the best model ever, is there any way that the Alliance could continue to operate without any type of contribution from the city, like the zoo model? That may not be even feasible, but at least look at it. Is there a possibility that maybe the Park Department could provide some resources and provide some opportunities? On the other hand, is there a way to restructure the contribution like we did for 2010? And of course the other ultimate, since it is a city park, there's always a possibility that could come underneath direct management of the park system. But that's not a priority at this point. But we have to look at it, and as we're looking at a lot of things in the park system, and it's actually, again, always with the primary focus, will it help improve services, or at least maintain services, and will it save money for the taxpayers? If it doesn't, why change it?
And really, this kind of a look, or kind of a second look, really hasn't been done in, what, 10 years of...
Exactly right. I mean, we've been operating under a 3-year operating agreement for at least the last 6 years, and prior to that there was just an ongoing agreement from about 1999. Again, as you look around, this is something the city's proud of, and if there's and it could finally end up being that we have to continue to contribute what we are. There may not be any other model that's feasible.
Sure. I know I've heard you talk in council meetings and various venues about the importance of public and private sector partnerships, and this is certainly one of those. In fact, I believe the legislation was passed originally to allow this to come into being.
Well, this is the type of model you look for. I mean, the park system as a whole couldn't survive without public-private partnerships, and probably it's both, and this is one example of that. If this hadn't been done with primarily private championing the cause early on, this overall flood control project probably wouldn't have happened, or would have been a much larger burden on the taxpayers. So this is just not, as we all know, not just a picture park. It's also a flood control project, and I think it's important for the community and all of us to remember that that's how it was initiated, by a champion of group, and pretty much primarily private individuals, along with Jeff Paddock and his team, that really formulated the game plan.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Well, we're going to take a look at, hopefully we'll have a model working with at least some different scenarios to present back to the Headwaters Park Alliance and back to the mayor and to the park board by the first of the year. Again, we do have some time. We don't have to really have anything consummated probably till this time next year, but we'd like to have something out at least by the first quarter with some type of scenario, and make a decision and move forward.
Okay. Anything else going on in the parks you'd like to talk about?
You know me, I always say the parks are all good. It's all good. It's
all good.
It's part of, as it is with Headwaters Park, the rest of the park system, it kind of slows down a little bit once you get into the late October, outside of festivals and fall activities. It slows down over the winter, and then it picks right back up. But we had a great summer, as was exhibited here, and for an economy that's been we've all been hit somewhat with the slowdown in the economy. We were surprised how well things went this summer. So I think a lot of our community and even the region stayed home and utilized the system, and hope that continues no matter how the economy is.
One question that kind of comes to mind